As all these things come and go, you remain. As long as you're here, it'll always be you. As the best things ever in your life fall away, as the worst things ever, you overcome them and move on from them, you remain. So you have to be the most important thing in your experience always, always. Because you're teaching your universe and your reality how to treat you. So if you don't put yourself first, don't expect your world to put you first. Plain and simple. D&D. Nobody's bigger than the program, man. If you have to put yourself on Do Not Disturb, just like you have to put your phone on Do Not Disturb sometimes, do that. And trust that, the things that are in alignment to you and that are truly in your highest good, it will never create problems with them, with those people, you know. If the only way to sustain a relationship is to sacrifice yourself and to give parts of yourself that you don't have or that you don't want to give, that's not a relationship worth keeping. And that's just not just people, that's the things as well, you know. If the only way to sustain your livelihood is to beat yourself down and to put yourself in boxes and to sacrifice your life force and literally drain yourself of your very valuable and royal cosmic energy, that's too expensive for us. Got to let it go. Got to kind of find a way to move these things slowly out of your existence. And it's like X, and this feels like the Family Feud, like where it's like, wrong. Like, no, we're not doing that anymore. It's like every time you find yourself going in the directions of self-sacrificing, people-pleasing, and just places that aren't a hell yes to your soul, you gotta really, wrong, slap your hand. No, that's not it. We're not doing that anymore because it is that deep, especially right now. And this just feels like Jason. Like, you are that villain in your story a lot of the times. You are that big scary boogeyman in your closet a lot of the times. You're the one upholding those things as you're kind of making excuses for putting yourself in boxes, as you're defending your oppression and upholding a lot of the things that oppress you. Understand that you're Jason, you know? Like, you're the one that's terrorizing yourself. And it's like, why? At what point do you free yourself and allow yourself to experience the reality of the situation, which really is you being at the center of it and taking your power back from these things and really realizing that a lot of those things are being upholded by you and by your energy. You're using your divine ass energy to put yourself in boxes and to put yourself in a prison. Get out of your head. That's where a lot of these things exist. A lot of these things aren't even real or happening in the physical. A lot of them are just, maybe they were real in the physical at one point, but now it's like they did their job so well to disconnect you that now it's just in your head, you know? Now you're telling yourself no. Now you're telling yourself it's not that simple. Now you're telling yourself that things have to be this way. And it's like, that's not the truth. And it's like, maybe it was true at one point. I won't take that away from you. But it's like, in this moment, it's like, you're the one upholding them now. You're the one telling yourself no. You're the one keeping yourself in prison in these boxes. And it's like, for what? For what? Literally for what? And yeah, I ignored this and I should have known it would have came out. But 15 seconds and peak might be important too. It's like, you're in peak form right now. It's like, now you're in prime position for all these things that you've been trying to cultivate. And I can't tell if my head's cut off because I have my phone kind of turned because it's busted to where I can see the chat, but now I can't see like myself. But so if I'm all cut off, you can't see me. Forgive me. But yeah, 15 seconds in pink, it feels like 15 seconds, that's all it takes. It feels like, I always say like 15 seconds away, you're always 15 seconds away. And that 15 seconds is always rolling at the point where you're so embodied and you feel so aligned in your life. And pink just feels like divine grace and the divine really taking care of you. And it's like, you're always 15 seconds away. And that 15 seconds starts over at the very point where you allow yourself to feel disconnected. That's the only time you're far away and that things are not, you're not moving, is when you allow yourself to feel disconnected from that flow and from the universe, because the reality is you're always connected. Because, how can you disconnect yourself? As long as your heart's beating, as long as that soul's in your body, as long as you're breathing oxygen, you're connected to it all, And it's like, be gentle with yourself and allow your 15 seconds to stay running and realize that you get to see just how connected you are. And it's like, be honest. You know yourself to be connected. It's like, we're not asking you to believe in illusion, because the illusions is your disconnection. That's what's not real. And look, the sirens and all that. That feels like a message in itself. It's like, don't get lost in the noise. Don't get lost in all of this, because the reality of it is that you're exactly where you need to be, and be honest with yourself, because you know that. And look how the sun's coming out to play, as it's been shielded by the clouds for a lot of this reading. And boom, it's like, be honest. That's the reality of you. You're the sun. You're the light. And it's like, allow yourself to be felt. Allow yourself to be present. Allow other people to experience the warmth of you, the divine grace, and the reality of everything that you represent and everything that is supporting you. And water, and it's like, just in that same breath, you are water. And water is a very powerful element, you know. At its best, water is very nourishing. It provides, you know, your body runs on water. The planet is 75% water, just like your body, like all these things. It's like, that's the reality of you. And at its worst, you know, water is very destructive. You can see water can, over time, destroys rock and shapes landforms. Like, there's landforms that are all shaped in literally just because the water running over it over and over again. Running over it over and over again. Wow, that was a wild sentence. But it's like, water is very multidimensional, you know. It can be very destructive. It can be very healing. And it's like, that's the reality of it. And it's like, you're that same way. And it's like, you can heal yourself just as much as you can hurt yourself through the way you show up and through the way you interact with yourself and through the connection you understand yourself to have to it all. So it's like, yeah, really be intentional with how you treat yourself, how you're showing up, and all that. And trust that that's a very important thing to do right now. And just in general, like, that's just the way forward. So cultivate that connection to yourself now. And allow yourself to run like water and be really, really divine water. And I saw red and I ignored it, and it came out again. And be honest came out again. And I'm being drawn to the fact that I'm wearing all red right now. And it just feels like a connection to your root chakra. And it's like, allow yourself to be safe, because the reality of it is that you are safe in your reality. And you're not at the mercy of what you do or don't do. You're not at the mercy of this person or that person, or feeling like you have to be on a swivel and be safe because, you know, you never know what can happen. That's not the truth. Be honest. You are divinely protected, and you know that. You are connected to it all, and you know that. So it's like, trust and allow yourself to anchor into that knowing, into the connection to it all that you so much know yourself to be an embodiment of. And it just feels like, yeah, it just feels like, stop playing. Like, it just feels like that same call to, you experienced all this magic. You've seen what's out here, what's available to you. And now all you have to do is surrender and be honest. Like, yo, move in those knowings and only make the decisions that are in alignment to how you know yourself to be connected to it all, period. And it's like, at every turn, stop and make that decision that's in alignment to what you know. And trust that it will lead you to everywhere you're going. And I'm also seeing the pool in my mind's eye. Remember, that was where the very first thing we saw before we started shuffling and everything on the split. And it's like, yo, this is it. This is it. Like, from here, this is everything. There's no more time to play. There's no more time to flirt, like I said, to flirt with the magic, to kind of play hard to get with the magic. Like, ooh, like, oh yeah, I like you, but you know, I'm not ready yet. Like, I'm gonna kind of go dabble with my ex-boyfriend some more, and in the lack and the conditioning, like, I'm gonna still go flirt with him, even though I know he doesn't give a fuck about me, even though I know that he hurts me at every opportunity. But you know, it's familiar, and I'm not really entirely sure about this magic thing, and trusting myself and the truth of the new earth and oneness and all that. Even though I've seen the magic and I've experienced it, but I'm gonna still go flirt with my ex. It's like, yo, stop that shit. Be honest with yourself and surrender to the flow and let these things fall away and create space and really experience the truth of it all, because what you've experienced is only a fragment of it. You know, as you kind of go back and forth and you dabble here and come back and go back and there, trust that you haven't experienced the full magnitude of the magic, because the fullness of it comes through surrender and continuing to send the energy in that direction. But as long as you're kind of going back and forth, you're only experiencing a little bit of it. But you've experienced enough to know, and then boom, look, it's funny because these cards almost flew away, which made me kind of distracted me. It's like 1984, and this feels like, yo, As long as you continue to dabble in these things when you know that they're BS and you know that they're literally made to oppress you, and that a lot of this reality is the way it is by design to keep you down and to keep you from actualizing the bigness and the grandness that you are, as long as you continue to feed into it when you know that's BS, understand that you're trapped there and you're going to continue to be trapped there. And it doesn't matter how much you flirt with this idea of your magic, how much you flirt with the magic and practice and dabble in it, your reality will remain what it is. And then just like that, it's like green popped up. Remember, we were just talking about red and being honest. And it's like, yes, on the other side of that is the green light to move forward. But you have to stop dabbling in the past. You have to stop going backwards. And you have to go forward. You know, when that light turns green, you don't start reversing. You go forward, you shoot forward, and if you don't move fast enough, you know, the people behind you that are trying to move forward, they start honking. And it's like, there's people that are ready to come behind you. There are people who are ready to wake up. There's people who are ready to actualize all these things. And it's just, maybe it's just not their role in this lifetime to be that leader. You know, leaders need followers to be leaders, you know. If everybody was lead, there'd be no one to lead. So it's like your role is to be a leader for a reason. So as long as you're looking around for followers to be leaders, you're tripping. You're out of alignment. So it's like, stop. Be honest. Remember that. And it's like, say no to everything that doesn't feel like high vibration, that doesn't feel like where you're headed and who you know yourself to be in the world you know yourself to live in, and your connection to it all, because you know, you've experienced the magic. You felt the magic. You've seen the proof when you've dabbled and you've trusted yourself and what that leads to. What else do you need to see? Nothing. So it's like, say no to everything that's not that and trust that it leads to everywhere you're going. And family. And it just feels like we are soul family. We are we are cut from the same cloth, you know. We're here as very much equals in all this. And it's like, all we need to do is trust each other, trust ourselves to continue to show up and do what we need to do, and trust that in that everything is unfolding as it needs to. And that tomorrow will be brighter because we made today bright, because we chose our light today. And it's like, remember, all this is physical, all this is results. So what you look around and see is more telling of where we've been than where we are and where we're going, you know? Because if I make a change right now, the results of that change will be seen tomorrow, will be seen next week, will be seen a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. But it's like, that doesn't make today's decision any less valid, you know? Just like where we are right now is a product of decisions I didn't make 2 years ago, decisions I did make a year ago, decisions I made 2 weeks ago, you know, all of that. So it's like, make the decision now and trust it. And don't keep digging up the seeds to see if they sprouted yet. Continue to actualize this and continue to ground it in, and trust that months from now, years from now, all that, you will see that, wow, my whole life did change. And it didn't come from anywhere outside of me making that decision and sticking with it and continuing to move. And it's like, you've got your green light. Now all you have to do is trust it. But yeah, this energy feels very, very conclusive as the sun presents itself again. It's like, yeah, zoom out on the bottom. It's like, if you're struggling to see, zoom out. You're too close to it all. Because understand that you're connected to it all. You have connection to it all. You can see the big picture, maybe not with your physical eyes, but you can feel it. You can feel into the big picture. You can see it represented all around you. You can ask for signs and they will present themselves to you. And boom, president comes out, and it's like, you're at the top, man. As long as you continue to allow yourself to feel like you're at the mercy of all these things, you will never feel like, what's the word? You will never truly feel at home in your reality until you allow yourself to sit where you belong in it. Because you sit at the top, you sit at the very center of it all. And yeah, you are the center of your universe. So as long as you kind of allow all these other things to sit at the center, you will always feel off. You will always feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. You will always feel like something's missing, because it's like you're missing. You're not where you're supposed to be in relation to your experience, you know? You have to be at the center. And as you put yourself in the center, everything else will put you at the center, and you will become aligned to things that put you at the center, you know? You will attract in that relationship that's perfectly for you, to where all you have to do is show up as yourself. You will attract in that career path that's perfectly aligned to who you are, that puts you right at the center, and all that. But it's like you have to do it first. You have to choose you first. Wow. And I thought this was a tree. Like I picked it up thinking like it was a leaf or something, but it's a whole ass like screw. And it's like, be careful of the things that are portraying themselves as natural to you, that are portraying themselves as in your best interest, as things that are, organic when they're not, It's like there's a lot of illusions out here, and a lot of it looks like, like, oh wow, this is good for your soul, this is nourishing for your soul. You have to connect to it. And I'm being drawn to religion. And you know how a lot of it is seen like is caring about your soul and wanting you to, it's caring about your purity and your salvation, when it's like, but at its root, it's really just control in a nice coat. It's really control and disempowerment and disillusionment and all that, just wrapped up in a nice package and then sold through fear and all that under the guise of love and unity and light and all that. But it's bullshit. And it's like, be careful. And if it doesn't feel right, and at the end of it, if it doesn't lead you back to yourself and it leads you to looking out into all this, then that's a grade A indicator that it's bullshit. Because all truth should lead you back to yourself. Because as it leads you back to yourself, it leads you back to everything else as well, because there is no separation. But if they're telling you not to look at yourself, to keep looking out, don't ask any questions, look at this, look at that, that's a grade A indicator that it's not true. It's not true truth. Because at the end of the day, all truth should lead you back to yourself. And then through that, lead you back to everywhere else again, and then lead you back to yourself and lead you to everywhere else, because it's all connected, period. It should not ever stop out here and never have you looking at yourself. Like, there's no way. So, yeah, that being said, this feels very conclusive, but also feels very charged. Like, and it feels like it's supposed to. It's not supposed to feel like closure and like, okay, that was nice, and then shut down and then we move on. It feels like it's supposed to end with some charge, and then you shut this down and you kind of sit with it for a second. Or you take it and you go create with it, or you go, and I'm seeing zebra butterflies, and if you've been here a while, you know that zebra butterflies and me go way, way, way back to kid days, elementary days, and they always show up to me in a time of alignment, in a time of either alignment or a time where it's like I need a reminder to get back to basics and get back to the truth of who I am. But right now that feels like alignment. And like I said, this energy feels very charged, and it feels like it's supposed to. Like we're supposed to leave here with it and go work with it, or go sit with it, or go have a good day with it, go dance, go turn up, go do something that feels right. And then that will be in further resonance to the things that we're calling in for ourselves. So I'm going to let it end right there at the peak. And I remember I said peak by accident earlier, like not too long ago, as I was starting to wrap things up. So yeah, I love y'all so much. And I'm going to let us end right there on that high note. And make sure you do all the things, y'all. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Yeah, and just go create, man. If y'all haven't made your way over to the Patreon, definitely make your way there. More great stuff planned for this week and every week moving forward, every day moving forward. Yeah, the Patreon community is a community, and it's there for us to continue to do this work, to stay immersed in these energies, and to really be able to lean on each other, and to be able to continue to feed the energy and continue to ground in the energy and this reality that is so present and ready to become the reality in the entire collective as we continue to lead the charge and grounding it in. And you're absolutely welcome, Haley. I love you all so much. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what comes from here. And I'm just grateful. And thank you, baby. I missed you a lot, and you definitely held it down. The energy definitely feels completely different doing the reading, like when I find myself doing it in my room versus like here. Like I feel like the channel is super, super duper clear out here. And inside it feels like I'm still getting the clear channel, but it feels like it makes sense because, you know, there's the walls and the separation from me and nature and all that. So it feels like I'm pulling it through the walls rather here than it's like I'm sitting on the roots of the tree and it's like just pumping and it's just ever present. And even like ending it, it feels like, because it's just always more information. There's just always so much. So yeah, thank you so much. And I really, really appreciate you, Tree. And y'all send some thank yous for my baby as well. And yeah, do all the things. meet me on Patreon, man. I'm gonna keep saying it until I see everybody there. There's so much there, and I know the more we pour into it, the more it'll pour back into us, and the more it grows. And yeah, we'll see all the energy. So, like I said, it's still set up as a free trial for right now. So there's nothing to lose. You go on. It has the 1 tier, which is the rock tier. You subscribe to it, and you get a full 7 days there. And yeah, that's enough time to experience everything that's already posted, and it's also enough to get a full week of things, because every Sunday there's the Sunday Shadows, collective reading and shadow work that we do. And if you're interested in that, that's available. Yesterday's is available because I held it on Twitch, so the VOD, the VOD is there, so you can check in with that. And yeah, just the Patreon. If you enjoy the time spent here, you'll definitely enjoy the Patreon, because it's just more of this energy, more content and things curated by me, things that I share that resonate with me, so I know they'll resonate with you, and just all that. It's just a nice way to stay immersed in it and to have the support of community in what's typically, a lonely path. It's a journey to self, but it doesn't have to be lonely. You can look around and see the support of other people who are doing the same work that we are. So yeah, I'll meet y'all over there, and I love you so much. And hell yeah, thank you, Haley, for sharing it. And you're so welcome, Dream. Thank you for continuing to show up here and be here week in, week out, and continue to sit in and sit through these highly charged energies. I know, like I said, I know it's always simple, but it's not easy. So you continue to show up here tells me just how special you are and just how connected we are. And yeah, like I said, we're cut from the same cloth, and we're very much equals. I feel like I learn as much from you all as you guys learn from me. That your role in it all is just as important as mine. So yeah, I always humbly show up here and thank you so much every time. So hell yeah, definitely click that link and head over to the Patreon. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And at the very least, allow it to be a thank you from me for your continued support and showing up. And it's all offerings, honestly. And tap in with those journal with me's, tap in with the intuition practice, just all of it. It's just all for you. And I know that if you continue to show up and engage with it, evolution is inevitable. Unity is inevitable. Magic is inevitable. Miracles are inevitable. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the energy while it's still hot. And I'll see y'all later, man. I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all soon. But I'm Mark, and this has been Monday Magic. And hey, together, the magic is here, and the love is so potent. And yeah, the magic is always present, whether we like to admit it or not, whether we engage with it or not, and allow it to exist or not. It's here. So all we can do is tap in with it or not, but it's the reality of the situation. So yeah, you know what's real and what's not. So all you can do is choose now and continue to choose. So, and I trust that you'll make the right choices and that the choices have already been made. So yeah, I'll see y'all on the other side. Yeah, Mark out. I love y'all so much. Peace. Bye, guys.